Today is 3rd November, and in Pakistan that means an exodus is on of over 1 million people. Refugees who are terrified, who had made Pakistan their home for decades and have now been told to leave, or actually forced to return to Taliban-controlled Afghanistan. Fearing the worst are young girls, who will now face strict restrictions under Taliban. Their houses have been demolished, packed trucks in queue can be seen, and there are teary-eyed Afghans facing an uncertain, bleak future.
हमारा अफसोस ये इन लोग इधर 45 साल अच्छा ज़िंदगी अच्छा बसर किया लेकिन अब इन लोग अभी तंग आया हमें खुद ही तंग आया हमें कारोबार सारा रह गया
इवन इन लोगों ने जो अंडर एज बच्चे जो बेफार्म होल्डर है उनको भी लेके आए बेफार्म वाले को भी लेके आए और पीओसी कार्ड वाले को भी लेके आए एसीसी कार्ड वाले को भी लेके आए मेरी डीएसपी से बात हुई 2 डीएसपी से मैंने कहा ये तो वैलिड कार्ड है ये
खुशहाल خپل وطن هم دی خو دغه اغله روي چې دغه لک بې تعلیمه پاتې نشي لک درس مرس وای دغه اغله رونو اولادم بس سړی به مې چیرته کمل تکم ده.
There is also one girl, Sadia, who told BBC Urdu that she is receiving her education here in Pakistan, but her parents, her sister and brother are now scared about the future, and if she's forced to leave and go to Pakistan, she definitely cannot continue her studies, which means so many girls will lose out on that future. 4 million Afghan migrants and refugees are in Pakistan. About 1.7 million approximately are undocumented. Because Pakistan shares a border with Afghanistan, people have come mainly during the 1979 Soviet invasion and many then fled during Taliban takeover in 2021. Many of these Afghans are born and brought up in Pakistan. So they are in complete distress. What do they return to? Close to 2 lakh have already left Pakistan according to the government statement. And most of them have said the decision is between the devil and the deep sea. If they stay back, they fear an arrest by Pakistan cops. If they head to Afghanistan, nobody knows what will happen to them. Why this crackdown by Pakistan? Now, every country is within its rights to take action against illegal immigrants. But here though, Pakistan government believes all the trouble in Pakistan, the terror attacks in Pakistan, the inflation, crimes and crisis in Pakistan are because of these Afghan refugees. They say that the decision is against undocumented and unregistered foreigners, but reports have shown even documented Afghans are facing harassment to leave. Visuals have emerged of children being detained at police stations. United Nations has reacted sharply against this development. The underlying reason is this: not a friendly relationship anymore with the Taliban. Pakistan fears that the increased suicide bomb attacks on its soil close to Afghanistan border, specifically in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, is because of Taliban-led groups or its offshoot. Sarfaraz Bugti, who's the Interior Minister of Pakistan, has said, and I quote him here, 24 attacks have happened since January 2023, 14 were allegedly by Afghans. But the fact is, the same Taliban that Pakistan encouraged, nurtured to overthrow the US-led government in 2021, from where then emerged Tehreek-e-Taliban Pakistan (TTP) that has a shared ideology with Taliban, which is now launching attacks in Pakistan and has pulled Pakistan military resources to the Afghan border. But then, the Frankenstein is known to attack the creator and looks like it has done in this case too. Over the past 2 years, the increased TTP-led violence has killed more than 1,500 people in Pakistan. This year alone, more than 500 Pakistanis, including at least 200 soldiers and officers, have been killed in these attacks. But force 1 million out and back to Taliban-controlled space, and many of them, remember, could become direct targets. Also remember, Afghanistan is in itself facing an economic crisis. When the Taliban took over in 2021, foreign funds were restricted. Unemployment rate has more than doubled according to the World Bank. United Nations agencies say around 2/3 of the population is in need of humanitarian aid. And then come in additional 1 million refugees arriving back in some way to their homeland. So this Pakistan policy decision will definitely worsen relationship with the Taliban, even though Pakistan will want to try to use these refugees and to possibly stay for action against TTP. But the fact is, innocent Afghan civilians are paying a terrible price due to the worsening relationship between Pakistan and the Taliban. This is also the winter season arriving. In Afghanistan, temperatures can touch -20 degrees. Without proper housing, how will these people be able to survive? Now, there are popular, visible Afghans who are raising voice on this issue. For example, entrepreneur Wazma Ayubi is raising funds to help, speaking up for the refugees. A cricketer Farid Malik is ready to sell his silver medal to provide funding for the refugees. Batter Ibrahim Zadran, after defeating Pakistan in the World Cup match, dedicated the victories to the Afghans who are being deported. Saad Mohseni, who's heading the Mobi Group media company, the largest in Afghanistan, made an important point. The world is too busy with conflicts in Gaza and other places to notice the tragedy unfolding in Afghanistan. Almost 2 million Afghan refugees are being forced back home and on just a few weeks' notice. This is where I now expose Pakistan's hypocrisy. Since the past 1 month since Israel-Hamas war started, their government is giving one statement after another against Israel. At the United Nations, Pakistan said, referring to Palestine, "We remain concerned about the human cost of this escalating situation." Jamaat-e-Islami organizing agitations against Israel. Thousands marched in Islamabad and other cities in anger. Some, quite frankly, were even bizarre protests and turned into meme on social media. But when it comes to Afghan Muslims, complete silence. Zip. Muslim persecution was largely mentioned as the connecting bond with Palestine. But it's not the same as it appears with Afghans, with whom, in fact, many Pakistanis share an ethnic similarity. Only a women's advocacy group, Aurat March, was seen protesting against Pakistan policy, and a few netizens are starting to speak up. There are more than 50 Islamic nations in the world, but none has spoken against Pakistan or be willing to open doors to these Afghan refugees or even organize mass rallies for them in the United Kingdom or the USA like they did for Palestine against Israel. The silence is not shocking, but it's a reminder of selective outrage. Afghans are noticing this, and the world is too.